We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Many years I had accumulated a shoulder injury due to lifting heavy weights back then. You know, this was in high school. And it's kind of interesting because recently this injury's been bothering me for many years. And recently, 2018, my brother, Dr. Boz Moreno, had suggested that I take some of his B-Venom, a homeopathic solution he put together. And I was like, yeah, let me try it. Let me see what's up. At first, I was kind of skeptical to the situation, but then at the same time, with its track record, I was like, yeah, he be putting it down when it comes to homeopathic medicines and whatnot, you know, due to the history we have with each other and whatnot. So I was like, yeah, let me get some. So I ended up ordering some, read the instructions, what I need to do, how much I need to illustrate within or add to my body or whatever the case may be. So over a 2-month period, I took it. I took injections from every Tuesday, so 4 times a week, 4 times a month. So I took it for 2 months, and after the second month, I noticed that my arm was not hurting anymore. The muscle had repaired itself, literally. You know, and I was like, whoa, let me start sharing this with people. You know, really start giving them an opportunity to check out what's actually involved with B-Venom. So tune in. We definitely got some more exciting things. If you're interested in administrating some B-Venom, check out our advertisement that we have that's supporting this podcast. Hotep, I am that I am. Some call me Haru, your modern monk, your cannabis fitness strategist. Back at it again, here with you, here. Understanding you, understanding me, getting a relation here, building relationships vicariously through the internet, YouTube, Instagram, live podcast show. Shout out to y'all. Shout out for all the thank yous, the comments, the shares, the fellows, the follows, the subscriptions, therefore the downloads of the show, You Are the Gym podcast show. With your host, with the most, the modern monk, Haru. We putting it down. We giving you some energy. Let others know what's up on this show. If you haven't heard, now you know what's up. You Are the Gym podcast show. Everybody, literally everybody, let me say it this way, everybody who want to awaken the giant within, you feel me, the giant within, come on, download You Are the Gym podcast show. You can always connect with me on youarethegymlive.com/podcast, as well as Podbean, iTunes, Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all the social media. Well, the majors. Let me say it like that. The majors. That's what we're working with. The majors. Billions informed per day keeps the stupidity away. Keeps it away. The stupidity. No, not here. No. Shout out to my sponsors, Wellness and Health, Dr. Boz Moreno for Method Moreno. Website at drbozmoreno.xyz, as well as drbozmoreno.com. You can email my brother at support@methodmoreno@gmail.com, methodmoreno@gmail.com. support@methodmoreno@gmail.com, as well as please text the brother 404-462-0571. That's 404-462-0571 for a discount for my brother's services and products. You can do Modern Monk 15, Modern Monk 15. Shout out to my next sponsor, Lifestyle Barber Academy. Physical building at 33720 9th Avenue South, Suite 2, Federal Way, Washington, 98003, USA. Email or website at lifestylebarberacademy.com. That's lifestylebarberacademy.com. Email lifestylebarberacademy2017@gmail.com. lifestylebarberacademy2017@gmail.com. Where you definitely got the phone number at 253-517-5345. That's 253-517-5345. Business hours are 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Last sponsor is my brother, the Fitness and Mental Toughness. Haru, the Modern Monk. You are the gym body. You are the gym. Y'all see the tools up in here? The tools we starting to incorporate back into the mind game. So, because it is a mind game as well as a body game, if that makes sense to you. The website is youarethegymlive.com, as well as youarethegym.com, as well as email youarethegym@gmail.com. That's youarethegym@gmail.com. Phone, text a brother at 206-659-6382. That's 206-659-6382. And we do have them tees representing all day. I got them flags representing all day too. Them big flags. That's pretty big size flag right there. It wouldn't be this big, but if you would like a order, I can get you a nice little order of them. Put them all around America. Let them know you're representing You Are the Gym and the positive aspects of You Are the Gym podcast show that we have been given to you today. And we're here with episode 124. Yeah, number 124. We're talking about dichotomy versus will. Yes, that's dichotomy versus will. So, what are we talking about with this term, dichotomy? Before I get deeper and go into these meanings of these particular terminology and the linguistics and the origin or the etymology of the origin of these particular words and phrases and structural value that I have been given within this format, I want to get an understanding. I want to build foundational aspects so we can kind of build brick by brick and putting those elements together. Then we can kind of see the bigger picture, if that makes sense. But before I say that, I want you to do your own homework. I want you to do your own research, and I want you to do your own due diligence. Because I don't claim I know everything, but I do know some things that may be vital. It may be vital for you to actually incorporate within your lifestyle, within your mindset. And you said, who am I? I'm the chosen one. Yes, they call me Jesus. They call me Muhammad. They call me the last prophet. Yes, I am the one, the only one. And you're the only one too. Remember that. You're the only one too. You have the ability to do everything that Jesus did, if he even existed. Buddha, if he even existed. And all these different superheroes that we talk about on a daily basis. Because most of these are manifestations of what we can create within our own reality, right? Our own reality within our will, our dichotomy. Our dichotomy. or our atom. Y'all not ready for that. Our atom. Our atom. The mindset. It's the mindset. What is actually created within the pineal gland, within the energy, right? What was created, the egg or the chicken, right? You want to put it there? You want to go there? You want to go there? So the dichotomy versus wheel. Now, similar words for dichotomy. And we're going to get in this. We're going to go deep in this. So let me just jump into the definitions. Let's get on the foundational aspect first. Let's dive deep, as my brother would say. Deep divers. My deep divers will dive deep within the atmosphere or within the environment of dichotomy and the environment of wheel, and see how it approaches, how it's affected within you, your psychology, your energy, what you have related within these particular terms, right? And I would like to use these. What I love about using words or using phrases, what's cool about it, it really shows you where we have been getting this interpretation from, or these values from, or what we associate these values from when it comes to like certain terms. And not even terms, are when we go into issues like health wise, getting rid of body fat, getting rid of understanding of living a more quality life, detoxing your body at least once a week. You know what I'm saying? Can you dedicate that to your life? Once a week, detoxifying your body, and not always eating junk food, or finding junk food that is actually good for you, and not necessarily indulging all the time on it. Because it's techniques called cycling. I don't know. People don't really too much talk about cycling anymore. It's kind of interesting because you don't hear that term a lot of times within the bodybuilding industry anymore. Because everybody's just taking shit, trying to get these results that are really, I want to look like Ronnie Coleman. You're not going to never look like Ronnie Coleman. Like anybody trying to look like Jay Cutler or any other. You never get to that stage. The point is, you'll get to the stage when you're actually, I think, doing it more cleaner. You know what I'm saying? Cleaner. Because I know, don't take me wrong, we got steroids, we got all kinds of shit out here these days. Genetic modifieds. Because that's basically what's going on. Supplementation is genetic modified. Everything's genetic modified. It's about, the crazy thing is they can actually, and I'm sure they're doing it, these scientists, I'm sure they're creating these particular pills or whatever the case may be for them or for their people or for their families and whatnot, but not for the mass, right? That's why we having a lot of genetic modified issues right now. We're wondering where all this autism and all this other shit is coming from. It's coming from our foods, right? They've been getting us in our food. They've been getting us in our water. They've been getting us in everything. Look at the ingredients on products we buy. It's so crazy. You be wondering, what the hell is that? And new stuff. They always experimenting on new stuff, especially in America. But I think we just so ignorant, we want to ignore it. We just want to ignore it. We go buy, ooh, this is good. That's how we judge food. This is good. Right? That's why I was doing that video, the last, well, not the last video, but the video before that. I talked about apple cider vinegar, about incorporating it more in your life. I'm working on an article as we speak. I'm working on an article, literally, on apple cider vinegar and the benefits it has been given me, just not me, but the aspect of what is the overall purpose. I haven't been sick, people. Literally, I haven't been sick. And I think that has a lot to do with it, because even with my particular lifestyle, I'm pretty active. You know what I'm saying? I'm walking, 40 miles a week, literally, all together. About 40 miles, averaging about 40 miles a week. The last couple of weeks, the last 3 weeks, I've been averaging like 40 miles. It's been crazy, And I prefer walking anyway. Because it keeps me alkalate. It keeps me in contutes. It keeps me balanced with the universe, or keeps me balanced with my environment, right? So my body adjusts to the environment. Therefore, I can kind of set my will in my dichotomy. That brother using dichotomy in a context that it don't even work. But we're going to get deep in that. Let me go deeper into it. Let me just talk about dichotomy. Let me talk about will. Let's go into that a little bit. So dichotomy.
Dichotomy.
A division of contrast between two things that are represented as being opposed to entirely different. Definition, division, separation, divorce, split, gulf, chase some differences, right? What is an example of dichotomy? Dichotomy is defined as a sharp division of things or ideas into two contradictory parts. An example of dichotomy is grouping mammals by those that live on land and those that live in water. It's a book that was written by Joko Willing. I can't even say the brother's name. Ex-military. I think he was Air Force, Special Forces. He was Special Forces officer. Shout out to you, respect, bro. Joko Willing or something. He reminded me of David Goggins a little bit, but he's a hardcore. He came out with this book called Leadership, Extreme Leadership, and then he came out with a book called Dichotomy, or vice versa. Dichotomy came out, then Extreme. Check it out. It's actually a really good book, a really good resource. I'm going to be doing a book review on that as well here shortly in the next few weeks. But I just want to share with y'all the understanding of what's going on. The grouping of mammals by those that live on land and those that live in water, right? And what come to mind, just a few things that's coming to mind, is Aang the Avatar. I just rewatched the series with my mate recently, and it's interesting the dichotomy even within the story itself, right? Because all the stories are the same. The hero, the mask of the hero, Joseph Campbell, y'all can go check his works out. Awesome, hands down, untouchable. The knowledge is still relevant within today's society, especially when we're starting to really connect symbolism with what our government have been doing within our particular figures or within our particular institutions that we're working within right now. When you even definitely have certain logos that are really pushing the agenda. You know what I'm saying? The overall agenda. And that's what I was talking about, the fake news scenario. When, a few months ago, a few episodes ago, I talked about fake news, the propaganda, the certain things that they're doing, and they're utilizing these dichotomies to keep you separated, right? And don't take me wrong, I'm not trying to be up here kind of claiming I got this higher intelligence, but it's an understanding of what, when you start putting things together, when you start seeing, oh wow, they showing you right there. So they're giving you, this is where you getting your news. And I keep telling y'all this too. I keep saying this. Well, the news is your comedians, right? The comedians are giving you the news. Then your shows, your movie shows, or your series of shows are giving you like eye openers of how society is starting to, where they want you to go, right? How they're reflecting society where they want you to go, where you're dealing with the zombies, you're dealing with all these different disconnected people, my brothers and sisters, disconnected people. We talk about no commonalities no more. Think about this. This is the dichotomy that's going on within. They got the vaccinated versus the unvaccinated. It's all these separations, and this is the same dichotomy that's going on right now as we speak. Right? As we speak. And it's interesting too, because I do like how Google breaks it down. It gives you all the questions for, kind of some questions you don't really think about, but then it's actually presented here. What does dichotomy mean? Simple. What is perfect? What is a perfect dichotomy? What's the difference between dichotomy and a paradox? See, because that's another understanding. And that's actually pushed in your school system, paradox, right? They always talk about the paradox. What's going on with the paradox? How are we phrasing that? And matter of fact, I may even go into that definition of the paradox, because it's the essential difference between those two concepts is that a dichotomy separates two items into two groups or subgroups. A paradox also separates words into two groups, but each group has an opposite meaning. A paradox contradicts itself because the words are opposing. See, that's where you gotta be. Look, I remember Elijah Muhammad, shout out to you, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That brother said it's an understanding of trickology. Huh? That brother came up with his own word, a trickology. Trickology. Trickology that's been played within the people. It's been played within the people, not be just because slavery and this and that, black and white. It never been a black and white scenario. They're just creating opportunity to separate you or keep these dichotomies going on, where the dichotomies are always bickering, fighting amongst each other. Y'all not ready for this. Y'all not ready for this. But the dichotomy even, see, this is funny because it even puts divorce in there, right? And see, and when we start really getting into these terminology, where this Latin terminology or the legalese words of where our government is actually using the Latin terminology, divorce, and all this understanding of what's going on with the separation, the mindset of a separation, even though it makes sense, but the greed is what's keeping the devil around. Let me qualify that. Now the devil is whomever is against the status quo, or who's against you per se, right? That's the devil. That's usually how we identify the devil. If it's something really extreme against you, and it may not be as extreme, but certain things or certain associations that you connect with the devil, you know, even though the devil still have the same power as God. Y'all not feeling that? Did you hear what I said? Those of you who is in religion, the devil still have the same power as God. As we know of the definition of God, right? God is the root word of God comes from, I think, Germany, or German. Listen to that, German. Oh wow, they had germs. Now all my Germany followers are like, no, I don't want to watch his podcast show no more. No, I'm telling you, when you really start going to the root of these words and stuff, you kind of be surprised. That's why I enjoy talking about doing the definitions of these the terminology that I'm going to be kind of elaborating on within these episodes, because I think we've been so distracted, we've been conditioned to think of other issues that are non-related to what is really going on with our psychology or with our environment or our surroundings. Because it's not going to be, it's funny, because it's going to be your government, but it's going to be the people who are going to be against you if you are kind of walking the other way. Kind of like the non-vaccinated brothers and sisters out here. Oh, you scare me and you don't care about nobody. Yeah, I care about other people. That's why I keep my health up. Right? I don't want disease, and I don't want to be a component of sharing a disease with somebody. Right? Think about it. That's how simple it is. But we complicate shit because we put ourselves in a situation where we actually get the disease, or we create the disease. We don't get the disease. We create it. Because it's our energy, right? Most of the time it's our energy. Oh man, I'm highly acidic. Or I'm highly, I'm highly acidic, so I'm highly to get something, catch something. drinking all that fucking soda pop and thinking nothing's gonna happen to you, but then you getting all bloated and this and that. Come on. And it's always telltale signs. That's another thing, telltale signs. But the problem is, if you're at a younger age, if you're at 5 years old and you're drinking fucking soda pop, you're not going to figure it out. You're just going to be having these problems. Oh, he's always in the hospital. Instead of really realizing, and the child don't know, he's just hurting. You feel what I'm saying? But the parent, that's the problem with the parents. So are we blaming the parents, or is it the school system? Which the fucking one it is? Because that's what I'm talking about, like responsibility. I know it's parents, but then at the same time, it's like we don't care what they feed you in that schoolhouse. Don't take me wrong. There's some schools out there who's doing that. You know, parents that's very concerned about whether they're eating for lunch and this and that. But most of the public school system, lunch is horrible. Horrible. They got all these vending machines killing your ass, kind of like the job scenario. I never understood that. You want to be a component of having a healthy environment, but you put all this junk ass food up in there instead of giving them an opportunity to give a more healthier outlook. Dichotomy. Will. Now, let me go into this word will. Will. That's a code word. I had a couple friends named Will. You know, couple friends named Will. Now, what do will mean? Expressing the future tense. Expressing a strong intention or assertion about the future. Expressing inevitable events. Expressing a request. Expressing desire, consent, or willingness. Expressing facts about ability or capability, expressing habitable behavior, pronouncing stress, will, indicating annoyance about the habitable behavior described, expressing probability or expectation about something in the past. And you know where this word come from? The origin is Germanic. Right? German, right? Old English, Dutch, German. So see, this is what I'm talking about when you really start getting into the root of these words, or the etymology of words, where they're coming from, and how we are programmed to think this is what it means. This is what it's interpreted. This is how we see fit. Right? Because there's always some agenda. Like if you go into different countries, obviously they got their superheroes. They got their, certain ideologies, who, what, when, where. I mean, the story comes from Kemetic, right? The story comes from Sumerian and all the rest of the ancient, ancient footholds of our societies around the world. Right? They all have their understanding of what's going on. Now, let me go into this other term that they put up in here. The faculty by which a person decides on initiatives, actions. Right? Control deliberately exerted to do something or to restrain its own impulses. A deliberate or fixed desire or intention. The thing that one desires or ordains. Whew. A legal document containing instructions as to what should be done with one's money and property after one's death. Now that's cold, right? Now that's cold. How they just flipped it on you. The will. So that's the cold thing about it. Because, see, that's the dichotomy we're working with. You feel me? That's the dichotomy we're working with versus will. Because will can flip it on you. Making sure your will is straight. Making sure you have a will for your family. Or those who you leaving behind, in other words. And then you have a will that would push you, right? Like a self-motivation, a will. I have a will to take care of that. I have a will to be responsible, to take more accountability on the actions that I want to give or leave as a legacy. Oh my goodness. Shout out to everybody on the here on viewing, brother live on YouTube, and brother live on Instagram, and brothers live on the podcast show, bringing to you 124th episode, Dichotomy versus Wheel. And brother moving, keeping in action, keeping in health. That's a one good thing too. You got to be able to move, and you got to be able to take the wheel in the way. The wheel in the way. And see, that's the risk you take. See, that's what's cool about life. Because life gives you all types of risk. We take a risk going to work every day, or doing whatever we doing every day, right? That's a risk. Especially within this society, as we have been getting. They saying violence have slowed down. You know what I'm saying? This is what statistics are saying. Violence have slowed down. But what type of violence have slowed down? That's the key. What type of violence, right? Because statistics can be tricky. I just finished a book called Fake News, and it was interesting because he was breaking down some of the elements of statistics. You know, we really don't think about the statistics, but then you talking about they may do 100 people in a neighborhood or in a certain area, you know what I'm saying? And then they'll call that a day. They'll call that, well, statistically speaking, you know, 50 out of 50 people like this particular product or responded this particular way, right? And that can be, and that's a small percentage when you're talking like major cities, right? You talking New York, you talking California, LA, you know, it's some big ass cities, right? Millions of people. Seattle, 4 million, 5 million, right? Just in Seattle alone. That ain't considering all the rest of the, you know, city or outskirts, Federal Way, Kent, Auburn, you know what I'm saying? Tacoma. These are some major cities. That's the thing people don't really be paying attention. And then you talking about, because they tripping over here. I'm looking at how many they have just in the Denver area. It was like 2,000 people. We talking millions of people. We talking millions of people. That's just like you focusing on all the deaths that we have every day. You know how many people die every day just over some bullshit? That's the thing I don't understand about people. I'm like, and then we're magnifying it because we're focusing on it, right? We're magnifying it, so we're focusing on it, so we're therefore pushing the fear element or the fear energy. Then we're wondering why we're so closed-minded. Nobody want anything. That's another thing I don't understand. Where the will is. The will is not with you. You're not with it. You're trying to run from it instead of facing it, right? We got to face our demons. That's what I do like about that Lock and Key. So one of the actors or one of the family members, she got rid of her fear. She buried her fear. Right? Took one of the keys, went up in her brain, went and got that fear out, threw it out, got rid of it. And that's what we should be doing anyway. That's what I was about to say about Lock and Key on the last show. One thing about that, everything is spiritual, right? Everything should be in a context where you're putting things in a more spiritual. How does it relate to you? You feel me? How does it relate to you? How does this Lock and Key relate to you? Even though a lot of people may not know, but that's Stephen King's son. That's why the movie seems so, I would say, seems so natural. Well, to me, when I started watching it with my mate, I was like, wow, this seems so Stephen King anyway. You could tell his son has got inspired by him. You know what I'm saying? His son's been inspired by him. Therefore, he's utilizing some of the context of what his dad has done that worked, right? That worked. Because everything is foundational. It's certain principles that you put in your films. It's certain principles that you put in your stories, right? Or your written works that connects with the people. You know, and it don't take me wrong. And I'm not saying all the people, because all the people are not equal, right? I have my fans, you have your fans, You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I always use this example. A lot of times I wasn't the man, on the team. A lot of times it was like, but one of the things with me, who was the man on the team, who was the LeBron or the Michael Jordan on the team, right? I'll get with them and I'll practice with them. You feel me? And I didn't care how embarrassing they would embarrass me. My point, I'm learning. That's what I'm talking about with the wheel. You feel me? Or the dichotomy of like, okay, here's opportunities where I can put myself in a position where I can learn and take these lessons. You know what I'm saying? Get these lessons. Get my game on. Therefore, I can duplicate my game. And look, I've been working with Michael Jordan. I've been working with LeBron James. I've been working with Kobe Bryant. Now my skills are superior. Yeah, I might not be during that period of time, but later on, this brother's shining. Who's this brother? Oh, well, he used to play with, right? That's how it should be. Literally, that's how it should be. If you have some type of passion, if you have some type of emotion, as my last episode, 123, was talking about, and utilizing it within these dichotomies, within the wheel, to have the will to push yourself, to have the will to take on initiative, to have the will to have some type of ambition, as Tupac would say. This brother was an educator. Tupac was an educator, understanding through his works, right? Yeah, you might not agree with everything he did and what he, just like Mike Tyson. If he did rape the girl or whatever the case may be, nobody knows but them. You feel me? Nobody really knows but them. Yeah, he served time and did all this. Just like the R. Kelly thing. I don't agree with the R. Kelly thing because we've seen through the history R. Kelly was fucking around with these little girls in the first place. Aaliyah's the big example. And we shun it because she was so good. She was an artist. She was, awesome. No, she was fucking up too. So we got to stop giving these excuses. Giving these excuses for nothing. And then we wondering why we got all these fucked up millennials. Not even the millennials. This is the older generation too. Have you really questioning some things? I think because he wrote that book, The Dichotomy, Joko Willing or something, Joko Will, I forgot the brother's, I can't even pronounce the brother's name. But interesting enough, he wrote this book, Dichotomy, but it made sense because he was in the military, right? He's a leader. So therefore he's kind of showing you, here's the elite and here's the unelite. We got to take care of the unelite. You feel where I'm coming from? If we in war or if we in battle, we got to be looking out for each other. This is what we got to do. And I think it was a collabo too. It was a collabo, another gentleman in the book. But his name was actually predominant as the author. Joko Willing or something. I forgot the brother's name. But he reminded me of David Goggins. Let me just throw that out there. David Goggins is no bullshit. That brother be hitting it up. Ex-military. Hard. I mean, I'm sure y'all heard of him, David Goggins. But Joko Willings, he actually have a great, he have a great, what was it? What did he say? Yes to everything. Something he was like, just do it. Just make it happen. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Made it happen. Just made it happen. He's got this motivational video. I forgot what it's called, but it's pretty powerful, though. It's pretty powerful. But my point is the dichotomy of understanding what's going on. And then I just broke down the wheel, and the duality of will in general. That's why we got to be careful on our words, on our phrases, on our energy that we put off, right? Because will is similar to do, determination, willpower, resolution, resolve. And this was a little note I took down. This was kind of interesting during the research I was doing with these particular terms. I said, don't let the little things drown out the big picture. Right? Don't let the little things drown out the big picture. That's why you must have goals. You must have outcomes. You must have measurement opportunities to step your game up. Like I said, and I keep saying this, and I've been saying this for years too. Those of you who are having jobs or who have a job, all the job is just a step to get you to the next level. The intention of the situation is, if you gotta stack money what you need to stack, instead of living life as, oh fuck, I gotta live a monthly life, I got bills to pay, I got this shit. Fuck all that. Look at the bigger picture. I'm a self-sustainable type mentality. I've been having that for years now. I'm working on right now, and I just got to Denver about a month and a half ago now. My point is, look, get more self-sustained, get my garden going, get away from all this, even with the Amazon. Don't take me wrong, I love Amazon. I use them all the time. You feel me? All these delivery service, cool. But now it's time to get the shit that you need to be set up. Bug out bags, artillery, knives, guns, getting your martial art game up. You know what I'm saying? Being able to scrap if you have to. Getting your cardio game up. I'm telling you guys, this is what time it is, because it's not going to be the army. It's not going to be the fucking military here. It's going to be the people around your neighborhood that's going to be acting up. And they already acting up with this vaccine bullshit. They keep ploying the people against each other. You feel me? They keep ploying the people against each other. Therefore, you need to be ready. You know what I'm saying? You need to be ready. You need to be skillful. You need to be able to handle your business. Have your cardio game up. Your health should be in check. You should be able to minimize your eating habits too. And I'm not saying it like that. I'm just saying being able to fast, but being able to use it as a tool. You know what I'm saying? That's what I've been doing. I'm using it as a tool. For me, to better me, to last long, live longer, to be able to protect my family if I have to get out here and get busy. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody else gonna do it for you. It's not like you can go hire an army. Shit, you gotta be the army. You gotta develop the army. You gotta get friends and family who want to get down and get busy and know what the hell going on and having the will in the way. The will in the way. Shout out to everybody who's viewing this particular live show right now, because I'm live here on Instagram, I'm live here on YouTube, as well as live on the podcast show. Just giving you some heads up of what's going on with episode 124, Dichotomy versus Will, and connecting some of the dots that we see in our everyday lives that we're working with, that we're around. You feel me? That we're around, but the key thing is, what is your influence within that particular environment? You feel me? How are you influencing people? How are you activating people or not? And maybe that's not your goal. Maybe that don't need to be your goal. But at the same time, I know you don't want to be there for the rest of your life, right? Because I never understood people who stay in one place. I never could get that. I think you need to move. I think you need to go experience other places, other environments. Then you can kind of get a more open understanding of what's going on when you're taking in like what the meanings of these words, what these words actually mean to your life, what you value. You feel what I'm saying? Setting goals, having outcomes. It's no ends. It's always progression if you want it. That's if you want it. Because you can digress too. But if you want progression, you got to get out there. You got to make it happen. That's what they say. You got to make it happen. That's the dichotomy. The separation. The understanding. They have their own fit. You have your own identity, right? We watched a couple days ago. We watched probably last week. We watched Total Recall, not the new bullshit. I'm talking about the old school one with Mr. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sharon Stone and many other actors that would later on do some great movies, right? And the duality was interesting too because it was an understanding. They was in Mars, right? So these movies was particularly in not Jeff Bezos, but the other guy, Elon Musk, all in his mind, the will to get there, to do it, to see what's going on, to take the time to go up in space, even though I think that was just a publicity stunt to keep you off the fear of vaccination, of going to get a shot, of COVID-19, the pandemic that we so-called had 100 years ago, but it seemed like the documentation wasn't really documented, right? And what they did during that period of time. And what areas, that's another thing. They didn't really talk about what areas that were, quarantined and all this other crazy stuff. I need to do a little more research in that, but I'm curious about that situation. But at the same time, I know it wasn't really that, I don't think it was really that many people, keep it real with you. Because the technology wasn't there. They didn't have no way to track anything. And the hospitals wasn't even on that level yet. I don't even think they was even on that level yet. How they was doing experience with, even when you think about the Gila experiment or Henrietta Lacks, the technology. And then I was reading, it was interesting because the invention of the baby domes that they created, where they put the babies in, have the oxygen and all that stuff, that was recently invented, and they were just showing how the demise of that technology, and that's later, we talking 30s, 40s. That's what I'm saying. We don't pay no attention to certain things because these doctors, these scientists are lying. A lot of them are big liars. They doing these experiments, they telling you it's scientific, but a lot of the shit is not coming out the way they want it. Then they figuring out, well, this is the example, and it'd be a few days that they got some positive examples. Then by the seventh day, he's dead. The opposite, right? He rests. God rests on the seventh day. Who told us that? Will, dichotomy. That's why we got to be careful. That's why I'm saying we got to start really paying attention to what we're putting our engaging ourselves into to an extent, and really get a more understanding of the history. Where is this coming from? Where's the root of it? How has it been developed? Because originally Scientology was meant for, that was actually one of the experiments of the Disney program. Now Ron B. Hubbard, he was actually part of that CIA or CIA back in the day. This was one of his projects. Manipulation. Propaganda. I'm not saying he was a crook. I mean, he created something that actually, I guess, helped for his particular scenario. But when you think about it, all the people doing that, I'm doing it. I'm doing it when you are the GM, the branding aspect. But at the same time, it's like, I'm not here to say, look, I'm not trying to put you in harm's way. I'm giving you an opportunity to think outside the box and how we can work together, how we can build each other. That's the key thing, right? The will. But the dichotomy is this. You have your own zone, I have my own zone. You have your definition, I have my definition. I'm defined, you're defined, right? But it's still about a respectful element. That's what we're missing, the respectful element. Big business have came in and they took out all the respect. They don't care about the smaller businesses that's actually promoting them, pushing them, right? Because it is about the smaller steps, as my coach used to say. Shout out to you, Mr. Richie. The smaller steps creates the bigger steps. I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what he said when I was in my freshman year. Get the smaller steps, all the bigger steps will come. You be a master. By my senior year, I was the state champion, kicking ass, taking names. Probably would have been a 3-timer. Probably. That boy said probably. All things are very simple when you let it do its thing. And these are quotes I created. I wouldn't even say quote, just some things that came to my mind. All things are very simple when you let it do its thing. But what we do, we complicate things. We make dichotomies of issues. We make division. We make separation. We divorce. We split. We contrast. We difference. We differentiate, right? We differentiate. Instead of how can we connect all the dots for... See, that was one of the things with religion. How can you stop at one religion? Because all the religions are connected. And what's crazy about religion should make you a more open individual anyway. Not just a Christ thumper or an evangelist or Pentecostal or Protestant and all the rest of the terminology we've been using that keeps us separated. And you know what's funny about it? It's all beliefs. That's crazy. It's all beliefs. Because we all die. Ain't about no coming back. We know this. Ain't nobody coming back. I think the spirit of the mindset of the ideology comes back, especially when you're reading up on certain ideologies or certain autobiographies of people, what they thinking, what they was thinking, their personalities. Then there's some people you know who have changed or converted over to something else. Biden. Will, Dichotomy, episode 124. Well, we just giving you an understanding of what's going on. The will, the way. The way of what? The way of you. The way of choice. The will. It's your will to do this. You know, you ever heard that come at you like that? It's your will to do this. The willpower. The mind, the preference, the desire, the wish. The wish. That's a cold one. The choice. The intention. The creed. The ordinance. Where is it coming from? Is this part of my so-called element? Kind of like Lock and Key. Once again, the show, Lock and Key. Netflix show. And it's interesting because the son, you know, feels that he has to take on the responsibility. He's the oldest one. So he got to keep a sane head, right? Then he has the sister. She comes in the picture where she just got rid of all her fear. So she don't give a damn regardless who, what, when, where, right? Then you got the son. He's comprehending. He's got all the story. He's the answer. Bodhi, as they would call him, Bodhi. He's the answer in the series. So he's connecting all the dots. He's the master of the keys, right? Literally. He's mapping out the house. And he's the younger one, right? Then you have the mom, where the mother of the children, of the 3 children I just mentioned, Tyler, I forgot the sister's name, and Bodie. But you got the mom, she's in the do-what. She's going back and forth. She don't know what to think. So she finally discovers it, the magic or the wheel, right? And the dichotomy, but she's still dealing with the dichotomy. Okay, is this real or this not real? Where am I at? What am I doing? And she's not even engaging with the children yet because she's going back and forth, not understanding. So everything is spiritual. That's, in other words, everything comes at a spiritual lesson. It's just about, are you interpreting it? Are you seeing it? Is it available for you? Are you open yet? You see what I'm saying? And I don't think we put ourselves in that situation because we don't want to trust nobody anymore and all this other dumb shit we always be coming up with. I think it's dumb shit. Because then how you ever going to move forward when you don't trust nobody, when you don't engage with anybody, when you keep dormant, and then we wondering why everybody's dying off. I mean, it's pretty sad when you have like celebrities that you think, even like Robin Williams, I mean, that's crazy. I mean, the funniest dude, one of the funniest guys on the planet, you know what I'm saying? Creative, all that stuff, was lonely. You know what I'm saying? Michael Jackson, lonely, right? He tried to voucher with the children. I don't even know if he even had a relationship with the children. I mean, when you really think about it, because if that was the case, he wouldn't have went out that way. If he really was thinking about his children. I don't know. Y'all, I don't think y'all are paying attention to me. Because it is certain energies. There's certain energies that would keep you or keep your mind or put yourself in a situation. That's why I never understood about these celebrities. How are these celebrities dying from heart attacks and shit that we die from, poor folks die from, right? Instead of, you got every element, you got every opportunity to be able to hire the best personal trainer, you know, hire a chef, you know, and just certain things that would enhance or make your life a more valuable life. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at these celebrities, especially like these ex-football players and stuff, and then they just all out of shape, dying early, and then they want to blame it on, oh, well, he was doing this, he was on substance abuse, he was taking these drugs. Why is he on that shit? He got money to take care of, to keep his health up. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty good when it comes to like keeping my health up, but I know I still gotta hire me a a fitness coach, somebody to see my, you know, my progression. I want to definitely see where I can improve on. That's where the will comes in too. That will, that passion, that emotion. But it's going to put you in 2 different mindsets, a dichotomy, right? A dichotomy of what you're dealing with, what you're working with. But the whole point is, do your research, do your due diligence, do your own homework. Therefore, you come with your own conclusion. Don't sit here and be telling me, oh, I'm doing this and I've been doing this program and I haven't been getting no results. So something's wrong. You need to hire somebody to see what you're doing wrong. Or evaluate, measuring your situation a little bit better, monitoring a little bit better, because it sounds like to me it's no discipline. You ever heard of that one? No discipline, no habits. That's my word too, even though I don't have the word, but I need to go ahead and copyright habit. Copyright habit. You make it a habit. You are the habit. You are the habit. Create the habit, develop the habit, keep the habit up, even if it's every other day. Most of the time you don't want to do it, but you do it, you feel a lot better. That will. You have that will to do it. You have that will to live longer, or at least feel better within yourself. You know, Feel better within yourself. That's why I'm a big component of yoga. I'm a big component of reflexology. I'm a big component of bee venom. I'm a big component of apple cider vinegar. I see the results. I see what it's doing for me. You feel me? And I got a good connection on that Elements. Dr. Boz Moreno. My doctor. He's my doctor. Dr. Boz Moreno. He haven't stared me wrong yet. And look, yet. Not yet. I don't have to worry about no crazy shit. Putting shit in my body I don't even know what it is. You must be crazy. Even food. I'm questioning food too. We don't know what we eating. We claiming it's chickpeas, but we don't know if it's chickpeas. Or genetic modified. You know? I want to push this book again. If you haven't read it yet, go read it. It's actually a powerful book. I just started. Seeds of Deception. Genetic engineered foods. Older book, 2007, 2003, forgive me, 2003. Jeffrey M. Smith. Go check it out. It's actually an interesting read. I just got into it. And it's basically breaking down what they've been doing for a while now. They've been doing this for a while. Because it was funny, basically 2003 to 2001. 2001, they started bringing out this genetic modified food. And I was one of the components to really start seeing the soy industry blow the fuck up. Keep it real with y'all. I was right in that urge because I was doing research on foods I can eat as a vegetarian / vegan at the time. Because I became a vegan like in 99. I became a vegan. I ended up taking, 2001 I became a vegan. I stopped drinking milk. That was so nasty. Drinking milk and stopped eating eggs, even though that's a debatable subject matter when it comes to veganism. I think at least vegetarianism. I think you should keep eggs in your component because that is the muscle building supplier. You know what I'm saying? That's a muscle building supplier. So when you got 25-inch arms, you can come talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Number 25 inches right there. At a frame, I think my frame is what? I'm 6'5". Those who you know me, I'm 6'5". 25-inch arms. I think I got 36-inch legs. But those who know me, I'm 6'5", and alive. No, it was funny, but I had got this one guy, Antonio. Shout out to you, Mile High Cannabis brother. He said, man, I swear you was a big, tall brother. He seen me, I was a small brother. But I said, I'll lift Coleman and all them guys. I'll lift all them brothers. I can triple my weight, right? Triple, double my weight. So that's not no secret. But the will and dichotomy. Let's get back on that. The will and dichotomy. Now, what do I want you to take from this particular episode? My takeaways, as Home Depot would say, takeaways. First of all, I want you to take away this book, Seeds of Deception. I want you to definitely check that out. It's actually a good read. If you want to get the book, I can email you the book. youarethegym@gmail.com. If you're interested in the book, I can email you the book at gmail.com. This is for YouTubers, as well as my Instagrammers, as well as my audio brothers and sisters that's tuning in. Because it's actually exposing the industry and the government lies about the safety of genetically engineered foods you're eating. And why am I saying this? Because this is what the foundation of this podcast show is really about. It's about understanding who you truly are and bridging the gaps or connecting all the departments together. You feel what I'm saying? When it comes to health, fitness, financial, mentally, spiritual, all the elements together instead of, okay, I want to, my Pacific, my focus is busy entrepreneur dads. That's my focus far as helping them brothers and sisters, or helping them brothers, them particular brothers, get on a game where they can get rid of their waist fat, right? Get their diabetes, their sugars, their lifestyle, get that lifestyle back to what you used to be able to do. You know what I'm saying? Get you back to life, get you back up and running. I know it's some brothers out there who's actually having a lot of problems. They started these families. You're no longer active. You know what I'm saying? You can always talk to me. I can help you get back on track if you qualify. If you're willing to have the discipline to take control of your life, take more responsibility of your health, your fitness, your finances, your mental, your spiritual, because everything is connected. We got to stop disconnecting, they always talk about focus on one particular element. My focus on one particular element is males, men, busy entrepreneurs that want to take advantage or take control of their life right now, getting their health together. When your health is together, brothers and sisters, and you feeling better, everything else flows. Everything flows, I'm telling you, because you're not caught up in always a stress mechanism. You're not caught up in that, I got to get this, I got to do this, I got to do that. No, start utilizing tools, taking more notes, sitting down, doing morning pages, meditating, taking care of your body, even if it's light yoga. Go take a walk around the neighborhood. Shit. Do something active where you can actually feel a part of the life, feel a part of the universe. Stop separating yourself like you're this crazy people and you got to satisfy every fucking body around you. Fuck all that shit right now. Take care of you. Soon as you take care of you, everything else falls in place. You know what I'm saying? Some cases we have to be selfish. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to your health, because I don't want to be sick all day. I don't want nobody all over me, crying over me and all this other shit. I don't even like that. That's me personally. I'd rather be in good health where we can go do things, enjoy life, create great memories. Lock and key, my brother, lock and key. Takeaways. That's what I want you to take away. I want you to take away also, go into this dichotomy, because we will be continuing this subject matter, dichotomy, because I like the essence of it, because it actually breaks us down to like subject matters are concepts, two concepts, as it says, two concepts, utilizing these concepts. And those of you who remember back in the day when I did this newsletter called Universal Concepts of the Masterminds, right? And I still use that as my publishing, Universal Concepts Publishing. But these are basically understanding of bridging these gaps, understanding, connecting the dots, allowing yourself to understand and relate and find the answer right away in what you're doing, especially around your environment, because you got to navigate. But it's a certain way you got to navigate. You got to have the tools, right? You got to have the tools, and there's certain tools. If you don't got these certain tools, you're not going to be successful. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it 100. But that was my takeaway here. To all of y'all who don't know, this is the You Are the Gym podcast show, live and direct on Instagram, live and direct on YouTube, as well as live on the podcast Bean, all of them. Everybody, you can practically put in You Are the Gym and I'll pop right up. Website will be live. YouAreTheGymLive.com will be out Sunday night. So definitely come check me out. Those of you who are busy entrepreneur dads who want to step your game up, I got a program for you. A mental program, you feel me? And a physical program that will get your ass, kick you in the ass real quick and get you on that level where you can start being the industry standard in your industry, period, hands down, where nobody can touch your shit. That's the whole point. It's all about dominating your industry. I got this. You feel me? I got this. And I'm getting better results each and every day because that's where my mindset is. That's where the will is. That's where the path is. That's where the passion or the emotional connection. And don't take me wrong, I'm not no sensitive bitch. Because there's a lot of that going on out here too. Very sensitive about anything and everything. Look, man up. You feel me? Or woman up. Whatever you want to call it. You feel me? Take more responsibility, take action, and keep it pushing. Push it to the limit. But it's all good. Peace, love, and happiness. And I'm out of here. 5,000. I'm out. Peace.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.